Everyone down at Big Arm gonna consider taking a swim here now. I'll show you where made a longer video sharing part of my timeline coming down here, and I thought I'd make a separate video just to show the craziness of me going into this water. So it's kind of cool and a little windy today. And this is a beach I've never been to, so I don't really have my favorite spot picked out quite yet. Alright, so I just thought it looks awful pretty. Now it was kind of a cloudy, partly rainy day. And the only positive is I'm not gonna be sunburned. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this or not, but I just feel like I wanna go swimming as much as I can. Now, the thing is when it's been really, really hot out, it brings the temperature up to where you can tolerate it. Even if it's a little cooler, I like to go if it's in the 80s or around 90 to go swimming because the water's cool. But if it gets down in the 70s, what's happening is when I get out of the water, there's no sun to retreat to. Because if the water's cold, you get out and the sun will heat you back up. Oh, that's where the dock is. Okay, that's where the dock is. I think it's kind of nice seeing the water choppy like this. It's kind of a little extra pretty. And like every part of this lake, got multicolored rocks. It doesn't seem to be as brightly colored as they are up at McDonald Lake, so I don't know if they just don't get that underwater dust. I think it's like, I don't know, going on 6 o'clock our time, and the sun's starting to go over the mountains, but I think there's some clouds as well, so I was expecting maybe a little sunlight to help me through this visit. But yeah, it's like a forest all the way up to the edge here. I'm up to my butt. I think I can handle the temperature of the water. Now, the only thing is I don't want to get the phone wet doing this. But I always love to share the part when I get to the lake and I go in the water. Right? So you can watch me freeze my belly off. So my butt's cold, but to my belly this is freezing. Now it would be nice if I could literally freeze my belly off and cause it to go down in size, right? They do some kind of cryogenic treatment to make people lose weight. Maybe this will do something similar. Like they say, freezing your ass off, maybe that causes you to lose weight. Now, one thing I do is I put one hand in. And some people would say I'm being a chicken shit, you know? Like some people could just jump right in this and go, that's not too cold. But we're gonna do this together. Boy, that's hard, especially going up to the armpits. This is an occasion where I wish I had fins and goggles. That way, you know, because if you swim in this, it pretty much is going to splash you in the face, you know, whether you like it or not. Right? So I don't like it necessarily. Well, I don't know. There's a big part of me that wishes I could, you know, do a little video of us doing a swim together, but we'll see. I'm still kind of walking out there. You know, I just did a little dunkaroonie that I do to prep myself, and then I go into where I'm actually just stuck at that level. Oh my God, so this is hard too, finishing the shoulders and neck. You know what? It's actually tempered enough. I mean, it's, you know, for me, it's a little chilly to get in it, but this is the ideal temperature for the lake. This is where you go to cool off. I'm not gonna come out feeling hypothermic or anything, but I love it because you know, earlier on I went up that way to the West Shore Lake, and it was unpleasant how warm it was near the surface. It was almost like there were too many kids in the pool that day, and I didn't find it refreshing at all whatsoever. And so I didn't have much to brag about that day, so I didn't make a video. But since I'm out a little ways, I thought maybe I can show you around where I'm at. There we are. That's where I got in the water. Now, this reminds me of the lake in Michigan. So we lived at the south end of Lake Huron. And I kind of remember it's such a big lake, it has like a horizon on it like an ocean. And when you're up at the north end of this lake, it seems to have a horizon like an ocean as well. So it's the next best thing, you know. So this is actually the largest lake this side, the Mississippi River, and the second largest being Tahoe. And I think they specify that it's the largest freshwater lake on this side of the Mississippi because in Utah they got those salt lakes, which might be bigger. Probably nothing I want to play around in, that's for sure. Now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of walking along here in the water. I figured that way I could keep the phone out of the splash zone, right? To show you where I've been. And I just think it's nice how you got all these trees right here. So yeah, if you were down here on a really hot sunny day, this would make an excellent refuge. Oh my goodness, I should remember one of these times if I have a really hot day, we should come here for a refuge. I like to go in the afternoon when the sun's not directly overhead. And sometimes that can be a big help, you know, that way I don't get a really bad sunburn. Woo-ha. Now, I don't know what that is. It's not Wild Horse Island, but it definitely looks like a fun place to get out and run around. If I had the permission, if it was okay to go over there, I would certainly see if I could walk up on top of those peaks. So I'm almost thinking about seeing if I could make it all the way to the dock. Go jump in off the dock or something, you know. Which I'm just thinking we might have to do. Right? In my last video I explained a little bit about where I'm located. Now, and if you don't want to watch that other video, I'm going to explain it again. That I'm in Big Arm. It's a state park that's just south of the border of the reservation, of part of Flathead Reservation. And it's on the west side of the lake, and it's called Big Arm because the lake, it runs north and south because it has an oblong shape to it, but Big Arm is kind of a stretch of the lake that goes east and west, so it's kind of like the lake's arm, right? So it's like we're looking south and the road's going exactly east and west right there before going around that hill and then continuing on to Polson. Now that's where you see the Mission Mountains. Over there you can see that they're kind of small and roundy, and they're gradually getting bigger and more toothy, and then by the time you get down to Polson you get some pretty big toothy mountains. And that goes all the way down to Highway 90 before it drops off, and there's a place where the highway can go between that and the next group of mountains, right? So yeah, that's where you get your boat in, huh? I was thinking about possibly even running and jumping off the dock since there's no boat traffic here. I'm kind of wondering if I should let you in on this, if I can get a video of it or not. That would be hard to do actually, so I might only be able to jump off the dock and tell you about it. And I'm so happy I finally made the trip down here after living here for 15 years. I've never been to this particular park. One of my last few videos I took you to Yellow Bay, and that's one I've only been to a few times, and it's something where I forgot what a nice little beach that is. It's just nice clear water. Didn't seem to have a lot of people at the moment. And this beach is just kind of rough today, but it seems very similar in that it's not as popular as some of the other locations. And it seems really nice and clean here, and I like the point of view here because, you know, as we look east, you can see the Mission Mountains, and then behind them you can still see the Swan Mountains, you know. So anyways, you guys, when summer comes around, I try to get to the lake as often as I can, and if possible, explore places I've never been, which is getting harder all the time because I've been to most of them. But thinking about, I always say I love Flathead Lake. It's one of my favorite swim holes, but it's got several points of entry to it. That's just it. Several points of entry, and then I think there's just a couple more I have to try that are on the map. So we have yet to go to Polson. There's a couple places to get in the water. And then at Finley Point, which is over beyond that hill. Anyways, you guys, this is Big Arm. It's probably only 75 degrees out right now with the wind blowing, and I actually feel pretty good. It's relatively cool. I don't feel like I have a lot of heat to beat necessarily. Yeah, so if anything, I'm not too worried about beating the heat at the moment. It's not that hot out, but I'm very thankful that it's pleasant enough to be able to get in the water and swim. And now that I'm out, there's a cool breeze, but I'm not really that cold, so this is a perfect opportunity for me to just immerse myself in this lake at this point. So you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.